The following series contains opinions from paid professionals. The information provided in this video is general in nature and not advice. For free and confidential support, call 1800 858 858 or visit www.gamblinghelpline.org.au. Well, can you believe we are now 1 month away, 4 Tuesdays away from the great race, the Melbourne Cup Gator. It comes around so quickly each and every year.
Does, doesn't it? And again this year. And gee, a few put their hand up on the weekend, others not so much, so we'll get to all that.
Yeah, massive weekend in terms of analysing and assessing all of those horses through 3 key races last Saturday. But off the top of the show, some jockey bookings we need to discuss. And Point King, who's right there at the top of the market or in the first couple, Point King, he's going to be ridden by Jamie Carr.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a great booking, isn't it, for Jamie Carr? And this horse is fit, he's in form, he fits the right profile. He's from the stable and know how to get it done. And the owners know how to do it as well. So yeah, he fits the right profile, yeah. 50.5
kilos for Point King, and he was great in the Bart Cummings. We will not see him again now until the Melbourne Cup. So a fascinating jockey booking there. We've also got Zach Purton from Hong Kong coming to ride Land Legend in the Caulfield Cup and also in the Melbourne Cup if he continues on in that way. And his win on Saturday really interests me from a Melbourne Cup perspective.
Let's work with the fingers. Yes, I agree. I love the way he quickened. I think he'll stay. They're two of my favourite attributes for a stayer, and he will get in light as well. So he's right on my radar as well.
Time to get another market update with senior trader Tim Ryan.
G'day Grace, g'day Gator. Can you believe we are only 4 weeks away from the first Tuesday in November? Time is flying and it's not that far away. And we're only down to 72 contenders for the great race after first acceptances were taken last week. We lost a few key chances with a few dropping out, including last year's winner in Without a Fight. He won't be back to defend his title. So with a few key chances dropping out, that left us a little bit short on percentages. So we had to shorten up a few at the top of the market, including your favourite, Jan Bruegel, who is now into a $6 favourite. He's the favourite in front of Vauban, now an $8 chance. Those two are the only two in single figures in front of Point King, who is now an $11 chance. He's in from $15 after a really good run there on Saturday in the Bart Cummings. We're just starting to think that he's the horse that has beaten the handicapper. He qualified for the race by winning the Archer there, and he gets in now with 50.5 kilos. He's not eligible for a penalty, and Jamie Carr's been booked to ride. So we think he's the one that gets him with the right weight. So he's now an $11 chance. On the $15 line, we see Warp Speed, who's a horse that we gave a bit of a trim up during the week. He's a Japanese galloper. He's landed on Aussie soil, and the Japanese form is always to be respected. In Sydney, we saw the Metropolitan run on Saturday, and I think it was a really strong edition of the race this year. We saw Land Legend and Zardozi really streeting their rivals. They cleared out from the pack, and we've given them both a really good firm in, $34 into $18. The winner of the Bart Cummings on Saturday, Just Fine, got a trim up to $101 into $26, but we're just a little bit against him. We think he might be a little bit of a risk at the 2 miles. Spoken about plenty of firmers, let's talk about the drifter. And there was a big one there on Saturday in the shape of Warmonger. He was as short as $9 before Saturday to win the Melbourne Cup. We've wound him all the way out to $18 after his run on Saturday. And I really think the jury is out on him. I'm just not sure whether he's seasoned enough as a spring 4-year-old to take on the hard-headed European-bred stayers. So I want to be against him. What do you think, guys? Are you with him or against him? Are you backing or are you laying?
Great question, Tim, and he's a horse that sort of was in the middle of the ocean on Saturday, wasn't he? It wasn't a flashing light run, was it just that he was second up? His first up run was a cracker. I'm still Team Warmonger. I think he's still in the picture, given those factors. But there was plenty to take out of the Turnbull.
There sure was, and you know, Via Sistina and Buckaroo, like wow, their performances were incredible. And Via Sistina in her own right, I mean, she's still one of the 72 horses accepted at this stage for the Melbourne Cup. If she was to head in that direction, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge. She'd be a massive X-factor horse in a race like the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, I agree. She's got the class. We absolutely know that. I did have a look at her 2,500 metre run at home, and she didn't really finish that one off. I'm not sure it's fair, though, given it was so long ago. I think she's a different horse now.
in terms of Warmonger, as you mentioned, and also Circle of Fire, who is in my stable, we talked about him last week, because they are still only second up, we give them the benefit of the doubt to suggest that they can continue to improve into their preparations.
Look, I think that's fair. I think the thing that sticks in my head is about our greatest race is horses just don't win it off an average run. So I wanted to see more, but they've got time to show more, those horses. And Francesco Gay is another one who fits that bill. His sectionals home were good, but not elite.
Yep.
So the next race is really important for a lot of these stayers.
Yeah, critical, especially for those ones we've just highlighted there. What about the Bart Cummings? So we know Just Fine won the race and got the golden ticket into the Melbourne Cup. So congratulations to Connections from that perspective. But from the beaten brigade there, I mean, for me, what you're saying about you need to be running well, these horses are hard fit, a lot of these in this race. They don't necessarily profile as horses we want for the Melbourne Cup. From my perspective, at this stage, what do you think?
No, I think it's a fair point. I mean, you have the likes of Interpretation. He's really well exposed.
And he's fit.
He's fit and ran well, but again, wasn't flashing.
No.
But ran well in the race last year, in a real swoopers race, wasn't it? Last year, we touched on Point King, who chased really hard, didn't get the penalty. Just Fine, he was good. He's won a Metropolitan track record time. He's no slouch. It's just a matter of whether he can run 3,200. That's going to be the challenge for him.
And with other speed influences up there alongside eyeballing Just Fine over the 3,200 metres, it's certainly a challenge. I think of those horses out of the Bart Cummings, maybe Positivity is another one that may not have had the best luck in running on Saturday, and I'm still sort of thinking she might be one that can improve again next time. But again, big asterisks around how those horses out of the Bart Cummings are going, maybe aside from Point King. Now, what about in Sydney, the Metropolitan? Because wow, Land Legend has got me pretty excited.
Yeah, he was excellent, wasn't he? He quick and nice, he sustained a run, did lay in a little bit. I think going the Melbourne way won't hurt him based on the evidence there, but liked his fight as well as Ardozi. They beat the third horse clearly, generally a good sign. So he's on my radar.
He's definitely on my radar from a perspective as well that he's still doing a lot wrong in the run. You mentioned the laying in. He also is so keen early through the mid stages. Chris Waller, master trainer, he can iron that out, and when he relaxes better, he'll finish off even stronger. And for me, he's still on the up, and that was an eye-catching, I'm fit, I'm ready to go run towards the Melbourne Cup. So I think he might be a player in the great race.
Yeah, I think he's got a seat at the table, absolutely. And bear in mind, you say he was fit, but he was third up, getting to 2,500 pretty quickly, so you can argue strongly there's even more to come.
Now, I mentioned earlier our stable looking ahead towards the Melbourne Cup. Last week, Gator, we both chose two horses that we thought might be able to progress and make their presence felt. You put in Warmonger and Future History. How do we feel about that now?
Look, Warmonger was a pass mark, but only barely. I mean, as I said earlier, he was only second up, so I'm not throwing him out the team just yet. Future History, on the other hand, he's got the pink slip. I think he was beaten too far on Saturday, so he needs to turn it around mighty quick. But I'm off him just for the moment. Yeah,
I was disappointed in Future History as well. He had the perfect run in Transit. I expected a lot more from him, from a horse that, you know, had good credentials going into the Melbourne Cup last year. I'm keeping Circle of Fire in.
Okay.
But St. George, unfortunately, didn't go to plan for my boy, the grey boy. He's out of my stable, and I'm putting in Land Legend.
Not a surprise from you, but yeah, St. George, was it the wet track? I don't know, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm off him as well.
Yeah, well, that is a wrap of what happened last Saturday. Of course, this Saturday at Caulfield, we've got the Group 1 Might and Power over the 2,000 metres, and also the Herbert Power, which is really a lead up towards the Caulfield Cup, which will be the next big talking point from our perspective, looking ahead to the first Tuesday in November.
It certainly will. It's been the best guide, hasn't it, historically? So all roads lead to that race.
It's getting pretty busy now. Join us again next week for another episode of Grace and Gator's Cup Countdown.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.